Hello and welcome to our viewers in Nigeria and across the world. This is Politics on Sunday, reaching you live from our studio in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. I'm Ayodele Uzubakun, standing in for Femi Akonde. Today on the program, our spotlight will be on the rift between the state executive and the legislature, with particular reference to the decision of Benue and Zamfara State House of Assembly. We will also be talking about the decision of the House of Representatives to invite the governors of the affected states, and later also on the controversy this move on the House of Representatives has caused. Do they have the powers to summon the state governors? But in Benue State, the situation is a bit complex. There are many sides and causes of a crisis that has continued to escalate. Leaders of support groups within the All Progressive Congress, APC, have asked President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the party's national chairman, Abdullahi Ganduje, to urgently intervene in the political crisis in Benue State. On the program today, we will attempt to get a better context and deeper insight into the political crisis in the states, and also dealing with the reality of violent attacks on rural communities. Joining me live in the studio is a former member of the House of Representatives, Honorable Francis Otoa Agbo.
Thank you.
Thanks for staying with us.
Thank you, bros.
Okay, let's start. I want you to just put up to speed the political crisis, particularly in Benue State. It has not been something that has been a very easy relationship within the ruling All Progressive Congress, talking about the camp of the SGF and Reverend Father Alia.
Thank you very much. I think basically that the hangers-on may be responsible for all of this rumor. For me, I've asked both of them, and they didn't give me any impression that they have issues. But I think those hangers-on, supporters who really want to lash on the tenuous crisis, so to speak, or tussle, are the ones that are actually spreading this rift, so that, they could, either endear themselves to some big men, nobody knows. But because the truth of the matter is that, look, the governor, His Excellency, Reverend Father Hassan Alia, is the governor of Benue State. There are no two governors. When I spoke with one of the young men that is behind all of this brouhaha, I told him that His Excellency Chief George Akume was governor. And when he was governor, he was in charge. Suzwan, His Excellency Governor Gabriel Suzwan succeeded him, and Suzwan was in charge. And His Excellency Samuel Otom succeeded Gabriel Suzwan. He was in charge. Now, the Reverend gentleman has succeeded Otom. He should be in charge. Governor Alia is not just in government, but is in power. So I don't know why these distractions are taking place. Every governor takes charge of the happenings in his state. So Benue is not an exception. I don't know whether you followed the interview that the performing minister, Engineer Dave Umahi, granted recently. Somebody said he is the leader of the party in Ebonyi. You say no. He said the APC automatically vests leadership on the governor, the sitting governor. I don't know whether you understand what I mean, the implication. Now in Benue State, even when it is not the SGF that is saying it, some of these hangers-on keep causing a lot of problems, making a lot of insinuations that Governor Alia is not the leader of the APC in Benue. And it shouldn't be so. Do you understand? It shouldn't be so. And since he's a governor, since he came, for those of us who believe so much in the delivery of concrete developmental deliverables to the people, our people are happy with the governor. I am from Benue South. We have never been governor before. But I tell you, the kind of massive construction that the governor is carrying out in Benue South, we are so happy with him. Everywhere you go, it is work, 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 work. Everywhere you go, it is electricity, electricity, electricity.
So why did
it is water, 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 water. And I'll give you an example.
If the governor is performing.
Yes, he's performing. I will tell you why. Now, as I speak to you, I'm from Ado local government. The road from Igumale to Agla is being tackled head on. From Idele to Utonkon to Ojapo to Okpoga, that one also is on the radar. Let me tell you, and the most serious one that I want to tell you, we have the construction of the Obagaji, Waji Road, all of those roads the man has started doing them. We never had that before. And you know one thing? If not for Fadalia, the greater Utobi Water Works would have continued to lie prostrate. Okay. The money that the state government was owing the Chinese firm was just about 1.3 billion. It's a small money that should have been paid since, but they didn't pay. Governor Alia have offset that. And as the work was about taking place, that was when the Fulani mercenaries launched a serious attack on Akpa Otukpo. So for us, we want the governor to be allowed to perform his duty. To be allowed? Yes, he shouldn't be distracted.
Who is holding him?
And I will tell you that I've told you some of the hangers on people who feel that maybe he's not going to support them in 2027. They are the ones doing all of that. I tell you that even His Excellency the SGF, do you hear him talk? Do you hear him talk? He doesn't say anything because he knows that he too was a governor. He knows the privileges and powers of a governor. And so these people who are hangers on, like I told you, they're actually the merchant of this crisis. And the way I saw the governor the last time I saw him was when we went to Bayelsa for the swearing in of His Excellency Governor Doyediri for second term. And he exuded a lot of confidence and a lot of plans. He had so much plans. And so we are happy. Those of us who like development, we are happy. Okay. But the only politicians who are against him are the ones I call them the Bururu Sarara.
As a former member of the House of the Representative, as a former member, and they've decided to summon the governor. And I want to get your reaction to that.
Before I get the reaction into that, I want to tell you that senior lawyers in this country, especially Femi Falana, he has come out smoky, saying that the National Assembly has no jurisdiction. It has no jurisdiction at all to invite either the Speaker or the Governor. No, it was a joke taken too far. Lashing on the so-called protests by undergraduates that they call lawyers. Many of them are not lawyers. Many of them are still in school. I know 15 of them. On that very day that they claim to have protested at the entrance of the National Assembly, around 6 o'clock, I went to my house, 6, 7. I saw 3 of them there, one with swollen eye. I said, what happened? He said they recruited them to come and, march and then, discredit earlier and the rest. And at the end of the day, they didn't give them the money again. When you see them they call themselves guardians of democracy and rule of law. No. This is a contrived name. It doesn't exist. They just put that name together, to distract the governor. So the National Assembly has no jurisdiction over the State House of Assembly, not to talk of the governor. The National Assembly is to the federal government what the State Houses of Assembly are to the state governments. It is only during wartime or in a state of anarchy or anomy that the Constitution contemplated. Section 114, a community reading of Section 114 and Section 115 will tell you that on no account should the federal legislature or the National Assembly come to take over the responsibility of the subnational parliament, except
an emergency.
When maybe there's an emergency rule, or when the House can no longer sit and carry out its business, then that's how the National Assembly can come in. If you do a community reading of Section 114 and Section 115, you understand what I'm saying. The Constitution is very clear. The people, our heroes past, who put together their brains, their energy to do this Constitution, they knew what they were doing. And even that power for a National Assembly to exercise over state houses of assembly is not an oversight responsibility. It's like an emergency power given for the time being, pending when the crisis will be over. In this case, the Benue State House of Assembly is doing its work very well. They simply suspended some of their members. What is the business of the National Assembly over that? So are you now saying that for suspending Senator Natasha in Nigeria, the ECOWAS Parliament should invite the Senate President to the ECOWAS Parliament to come and answer questions over the suspension of Natasha? No. The state houses of assembly are driven by the rules, just like we have at the national level.
All right.
Do you understand? And so they have the power. Those are rules consented to by all parliamentarians. So if the state house of assembly suspends some members, they should go to the court and try it. Omagege, the former deputy senate president, was suspended. He went to court. And not to politicize this matter. I've not finished, sir. Now, you need to know the foundation of this problem.
Before we go to the foundation,
okay,
let me just take this break.
Okay.
So we'll take this break. When we come back, we'll talk more. It's still politics on Sunday. We'll be right back after this time out. Please don't go away.